get back over to this. I'm gonna turn on the VR. And let's see if we're doing the VR streaming thing. Okay, cool. I got sound. Let's go. Let's get into it immediately. Barely had to find the technology tonight. Surprising. Let's see, let's type. Let's go in all capitals. Dude, already here. Notification squad for sure. Even commented before I commented. Short flight tonight. Nothing too crazy because honestly, I don't have anything planned outside of just going this direction. So, yeah, short flight tonight. Made it in 14 seconds. You're late. You're going to see this on your quarterly report. Interesting. There's actually a helipad like right here. IRL. But yeah, we'll take off from small ramp here just because that way hopefully I'm not hitting that that fuel box like it likes to do. And then honestly, I'm almost thinking we just kind of have fun with it. And just go in a direction for a bit. We'll do the 145 because I want to do some twin engine things. And we'll set a Port Hardy all the way up here at the top of the island. Yeah, that looks substantial enough. I like it. Apparently they don't have a fuel box. We'll just do here. Set as arrival. And we'll just kind of fly the coast and hit these mountains. Bada bing, bada boom. Make it a thing. Sounds good to me. Yeah, sorry for keeping you up so late last night. I freaking got off and I was like, holy crap, it's almost... It was like 2:30 or something when we got done last night. It was in there, either way. I actually heard my computer spool up a little bit there. So it's demanding something for what we're doing. But what that is, I don't know. What are we demanding? Why are you like this? Oh, that's live. Live. Because, like, I've got things I want to watch. I've got YouTube videos I want to see. Creators that I want to see what they've created. And, I'm not going to let no stinky getting off late change that. But that changes my range well out there. Yeah. Sick. Okay. Now load me in, Doc. Let's go. They're showing me the spots. That's good. Good start. Now give me the satellite imagery. Come on. Let's go. Oh. Starflight, let's get in there. Waste no time. Boy, it is fighting me tonight. Holy crap. I got some clear skies. So Starlink is having no issues. This is purely a something wrong with the sim itself. Or some sort of delay with the cloud-based gaming. Summit Racing. They have a Monday night cruise in. So I ride up there with my father. Why do I feel so short? Ugh. Is this what it's like to be like under 6 foot tall? Airbus H-145. What a beast. Damn, such an attractive helicopter. I wish it was the 5-blade, but you know, we can deal. Also, where the hell do they expect me to go? Goodness. There's a steep approach out of here. Or steep departure. Shift C will get me in the seat. Let's get seated. Yeah, dude, H-145 is a beast. Okay, first thing first, let's look over everything here. Looking good. Master battery on. Some of these things I'll have to use my mouse for, but that's neither here nor there. Did you see that? Quiet. Fuel prime. I'm not going to worry about transfer yet. Da-da-da-da. Okay, that's good enough. Come on, numbers. 2 numbers, there you go. I don't know why that one's not showing torque yet. Interesting. Pilot. Idle, start up. Het was mute. I can turn that off there. Autopilot, yeah. Let's see. Cool. So we're good to go on everything. Rotor RPM, understandable. Let's fix that for you, bud. Excuse you. Holy crap. Stop moving. Literally have no reason to move. Maps. Chill. Daddy, chill. So that's the weird thing with this, and since I don't have a self-centering stick, it requests a lot more torque depending on where the cyclic is. The rotor RPM's there, but you can turn that light off. Thank you. Thank you. Also, I was looking up that Perry International last night. And I feel like they just named the airport Perry International just because it'd be silly. And where it could be like Perry Municipal, and they're like, actually, let's just call it Perry International because it'll throw people off. Okay, kind of an international airport. We're skadoodling off to the north. Adios, guys. We're going up to Canada. We're smuggling in non-free healthcare. Let's see, let's turn off this. I said we're not exactly going to follow the rules here. We should kind of north over the water because there's an island to land on that will do. I wonder how much shit they've gotten for calling their airport International Airport. Here we go, guys. Welcome to flying around from the US to Greenland and Greenland to Iceland, Iceland to UK simulator. I know that's like 70 or 80 days away, but I want to start figuring out which helicopter I want to do that in. I'm thinking either the Chinook for the obvious fuel range, the 225 Super Puma for the obvious fuel range, or the 222 Bravo, and I think it has the range, but we can also I can look up how big a ferry tank could be in the back of that. We can also kind of simulate a ferry tank being in the back of that. It's kind of the idea. I wonder like what the preferred altitude for doing a water crossing is. Like, do they try to put a little bit of elevation in there so that way you can still reach communication on either side? Or is it stay low and just do your normal thing and don't waste the fuel getting up, or spend that extra few gallons of fuel to get high so if something does happen then you can extend your range, or which you should never be out flying with your ranges anyways. But I'm curious. I may reach out to the people that actually flew around the world in a helicopter and see what their any notes or notes or suggestions, but anything specific that they did as far as like operating procedures. Also, we're getting ready to cross the airspace. Boy, I can imagine after doing the Greenland crossing being able to see the land out in front of us. It's going to be so nice. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, 0. No longer in the United States. We will see the United States again in a couple of days when we make it up to Alaska. But until then, we're playing by Canadian rules. Lucky us. I didn't really scout this, but I know there's an island here that has a helipad, as denoted there on the map. And then I know there's a castle, which is what the thumbnail is. I kind of took off. There's a little helipad near the castle for like a country park, state park, provincial park, whatever. So, took off from there, took the thumbnail, which we still need to do an MD500. We'll do an MD500 day next, or soon, depending on what our area looks like. If it's a super long day, we won't do it. I probably should have done it today. I can't do the same one as the thumbnail. That's no bueno. Something rocks. Race Rocks Ecological Reserve. Okay. Where is my helipad? The big question is, how many people come out here to justify needing to put buildings and a helipad out here? Let's see, y'all see a helipad? Maybe this squared off rocky looking thing here. That's probably what it is. Also, I kind of really hate the yaw assist and everything that come with this helicopter. But it bitches if you don't use the autopilot assist features or whatever. Yeah, we'll call this that. We'll drop off some Canadian scientist or something. Alright, sure. Wind from the west. Not that big of a deal. Cool, there we go, all the way down. Someone texting me. No, that was an email. Sick, we have our island enthusiast out of the helicopter. Take off this freaking rocky ledge. There we go. Can't slide around too much or we can have a dynamic rollover. No bueno. It's when your skid catches something and then it tilts over the entire helicopter. Because once you hit past a certain tipping point, there's no turning back. The only way to get out of a dynamic rollover is to lower your collective. And you have to do that before a certain point in time. As soon as you feel that left or right skid stop in whatever direction as you're moving sideways, you drop that collective down. And you save yourself in the machine. It's a 3-step process. Drop the collective, and drop the collective. Such a nice heli, except for you. Don't like you. But you can absolutely piss off. Respectfully. let's see. Car show tonight. Nothing too exciting. It's like a Monday night cruise in. So it's a lot of the same people that bring in cars that they are capable of driving every day, but they really don't. Sometimes they do. One of my dad's friends, he either drives his 78 Ford F100 around, or he has a 74 Mustang that he was given as a retirement gift from his company. Very cool. But that's pretty much all he drives. He has a F250, or no, F350, newer one. But that's usually to pull his RV and stuff around, but he usually drives his old vehicles. Yeah, numbers are moving today. How long will it stay that way? Who knows? If y'all are in here and your thumbs work, say hey. If you know of anything on this island, just north of Washington here, the Vancouver, is it not Vancouver, Victoria, whatever it is, Victoria, Canada? Yeah, the island here that Victoria is on, I don't know if it's called something specific. But, if you know of something neat to look at as we do this crossing up here today, let me know and we can always add it into the flight plan. Go look at something neat, because for the most part we had things to do. Okay, here's the castle. Wait, no, it's further up. We had things to look at in the US as we were going through. Mostly because I'm from the US and I have a good idea of what touristy spots are across the country. And I did a Instagram poll too on my personal, which has a significant number more followers than the channel or the Instagram page for this channel. But asking for suggestions of places between Georgia and the Pacific Northwest. Got a handful of cool suggestions of neat places to go see. But now that we are in Canada, I am at a loss for destinations. So I've kind of always viewed this Canadian and Alaskan coast, as well as the crossing in the Russian coast back down to Japan, to be grinding, where we're just getting on and putting in the hours and talking some about whatever. But if you know of something along the way that's directly in path, you know, we'll take it. Something to do, something to see, something to look at. I forget the name of this castle. Will it pop up if I do the G thing? That is Hatley Park National Historic Site of Canada. This poor castle. This is its second helicopter day coming in and terrifying people here. Cool place. There's a lot of landscaping and stuff around it too. Looks pretty neat. Architecture used to be a thing, and now it's just boxes everywhere. Look at all that. And I'm sure these buildings here don't look like that. I'm sure they're much more in tune with the castle itself, but probably wasn't added as an appropriate AI generated building. But that's okay. I want to go look at Victoria. Looks like a town. We'll continue north. Hit this little sound here, kind of to the west of Central Sandwich. Central Sandwich? BBC. Where are we going? This one. I think. Are we going to Port Hardy? We're going somewhere way up there. Yeah, we're going to be in the Port Hardy area. I think just south of Port Hardy is where we're going. Or it might even be the Port Hardy area. We're going just south of Port Hardy, the city. That's generally where I have it set. I figure we'll just kind of make it up to the northern tip of this island, and then we'll go from there. I had another one kind of set on the east side of the island, depending on how much I wanted to fly today, but I think we'll be able to throw enough speed at this to make it where it's not that big of a deal. Okay, I can put my phone down. I'm not looking at the messages at the second. And picture borders the last before Alaska. It's like I honestly don't even know where the Alaskan border is on the north side. Yeah, because we're coming up here to Port Hardy for the getting in. Yeah, and Prince Rupert will be the next one, so we'll basically have one day here in Canada. Or, well, 2 days, today and next time. Because I think we can do this then maybe one jump or one long day of just grinding through it. Potentially. Oh yeah, yeah. Which we're not even gonna hit customs till we make it up here to Port Hardy. Alright, what are they gonna do? Pull us over? Canadian fighter jets? I'm sorry. Paper airplanes are flimsy. Cutter Rock Pleasure Craft. I mean, we're still very close to Washington State, but very cool geography here. If y'all weren't here last night watching, Washington State was one of the biggest surprises of my life as far as like cool geography and how everything is supposed to be, you know. Why is it hiding in there? I guess I think we're just gonna kind of follow the east coast of this this island here. Yeah, but also they're Canadian, so they probably shoot sorries at you. Sorry. Powered by maple syrup. All I gotta do is juke them like once or twice, and they'll run out of tree manufactured sugar. Honestly, here's a fun fact: I've never had maple syrup. Love it or hate it? Don't know. Couldn't tell you. I've always been more of a salty person when it comes to like my pancakes and stuff. I've never been a waffle person because I feel like most people drown waffles in syrup and then you're just eating sugar paste for breakfast. But pancakes, I'll do pancakes, and usually I do like butter. Good, like raw, straight from the cow, churned butter. That's it, no additives. It's typically my pancake order. Hey, stop! Sorry for yelling. Sorry for flying by in a very accelerated fashion. Okay, here's a question for you guys. Once we get up here to this area, do we follow this river to the northwest to kind of put us back towards our path, or do we continue following the coast here, up the east coast of the island. So we're kind of freeballing it here today, so we can do either or. SF-34. Poco 1538. Sweet thing. Hey look, you see that? They have you in here. Georgia Plane Spotting's actual boat right there. Sweet thing. Named after him. And then YOLO. Somebody he's trying to get away from. Probably. And also, since I think that today's going to be, or at least feel like a much shorter flight, since there's going to be less detouring, I haven't gotten the existential, oh man, I got a hell of a lot of flying to do today, dread. So, I'm not going to say, ooh, yeah, I'm in such a better mood, but like, hey, not that bad of a mood, you know? Well, usually after the first 10 minutes, you kind of get that, oh man, I have a whole ass road trip to do. After you get past that, it always seems better. Especially when you're in the chat down there and other people are in there and you'll have a conversation going and I can pipe in and I don't necessarily have to keep you entertained. Mono, but I can kind of let discussions happen and people talk about whatever they want to. Then I can pop in, see something to latch on to, going on an unhinged autistic rant about something, and then get back over into it 20 minutes later. Yeah, maybe now, yeah, super short today. I didn't want to do too much because it went long last night. And I'm not going to say there's a lack of options once we get north of Hardy, but we start losing options once we get to Hardy. So I figured that'd be a good place to call it. Easy stream, and then we can worry about jumping all the sounds and everything as we go north. Because that's going to be an exercise in itself. Jumping the sounds, and Russia will be the same thing heading south, but it's just going to be jumping from airport to airport because I honestly don't think there's anything on the east coast of Russia, which is a bit surprising. I don't know if it's a weather thing because it seems like it's kind of Siberia-esque on the eastern coast, but is this going to be an ETA on this one? Even with us being so off, no, they're not showing me ETA. Okay guys, reckoning time's coming up. Do we take the left fork or do we continue more up the coast? Both are viable options. One gives us more mountains, one gives us more water. We have about 2 minutes to decide. People literally just live up here. It's no big deal. Oh, also, fun topic for discussion. Should the U.S. annex Canada to be North Dakota? Or we just call it North Dakota, then we have Dakota, and then we have South Dakota. That would be my suggestion. Over Saskatchewan. Why are we flying a U-2 up there right now? Oh, North Texas. I had never really looked at it, but I will say science. That looks like a lot of mountains over there. I think we're going to keep coast. Also, if y'all are looking at me being wiggly, my cyclic doesn't self-center, so anytime I have to lean around to look at something, I'm definitely putting inputs into the cyclic because I just can't let it go. Yeah, you'll see it on Flight Radar 24. I happened to catch it the other day because you heard me talking about my friend last night, the one who was a helicopter hoist operator. Then he got a job in Hawaii, flying between islands, doing repairs on stuff. He happened to get a video or a picture or something of it taking off from Hawaii the other day. And I happened to see his story just as he had posted it. Got on Flight Radar and saw it heading off to the west. And it didn't reappear again once it hit above 60,000 feet or whatever. It didn't reappear again on Flight Radar until it was over Japan or Korea or something like that, way over there. But there's a crazy science to those things that I didn't know or understand. Oh, that's sad. I just got a text from my mom. My 7th grade? I think my 7th grade teacher just passed away. I hate to see that. Very nice lady. Daphne Perkins, you'll be missed. Back to the U2. Gotta keep on rolling here, guys. We can't sit in this. Yeah, they do some UK trips a good bit, the cross Atlantics. So yeah, I watched it go all the way over there. But then I started watching some more videos about the U2. And as most people who are relatively into aerodynamics and fighter planes and stuff like that, you'll know that the speed of sound changes at different altitudes that you go. So you get up to 35,000 feet, 40,000 feet, which airliner territory, let's just say it's the 1,020 feet per second, or 1,050 feet. You get up higher, and that speed will actually decrease a little bit, if I remember correctly. And the U2, although power-wise is capable of getting over the speed of sound, the body and the construction of it is not made to handle the effects of breaking the sound barrier. So when you get up to a certain height, you have to be very, very conscious of how fast you're going. But also, if you go any slower, you'll stall because the air is so thin up there. So if it's something, let's just say it's, for easy terms, let's say it's 450 miles an hour at altitude is your speed of sound. So they have to go at like 448, because at 445 they'll stall because there's such a thin layer of oxygen or layer of air that they're flying in. Yeah, so there's a fun fact that you didn't know that you now do, maybe. I forget the exact science and whatever, but I mean, it's their stall speed and the speed of sound is so close at that altitude that they're like riding a razor's edge of how fast they can go. Just because it's, well, you go any faster and the plane breaks apart at 90,000 feet above the ground, rip, not making it through that. You go just slow enough and then you fall out of the sky, rip. I don't know how the airplane would handle falling out of the sky, and I think terminal velocity would be higher than the speed of sound of that. So if you screw that up, then who knows? I'm sure somebody found out somewhere and we just don't know about it. Yeah, Miss Perkins is gone. That sucks. Well, I know it's nothing to discuss because it's such a fresh thing, but I always hear this now and I wonder what the cause is. or if it was something where it's something people had known about for a long time, or me being the sort of person I am, the first thing I think is like, oh man, did they happen to get the shots back in 2020, 2022, whenever? Start having heart complications and different things after that happened. Which I hate that that's the first place that my mind goes on a lot of this. But there's a lot of people that I know who didn't want to get it and were seriously injured or sick or whatever because of it. At least 2 people that I know died, which I'm assuming because of it, because they were very, very healthy and younger people, and then at the age of 41 or 42, they end up having heart failure after getting these, and it's like, okay, cool, that's not something that's typical. It's flying at 60,000, yeah. It'll probably pop off flight radar here in a second. They're probably leveling off at 60, and then they'll go up from there, or they turn off the transponder once they hit to a certain place. Or that might be top of airspace. I haven't really looked into the above 20,000 feet airspace, just because that's something that I like is not going to be an issue with me flying helicopters. So I haven't put much effort into studying it. But mountain kind of levels off there for a bit and then goes up. Which it's wild, because these mountains are, give or take, part of the same range as what was over there in the Olympic Island. But then they look very different for some reason. Cool little elevated. But there's some good pike and stuff in freaking lakes like that. Got this little bit of haze layer up here. Hell yeah. Also, if anybody watching has Flight Sim 2024 and you want to get on, I'm set up where I'm playing in live servers right now. You can find me. I'm flying north here. Paseo Ranger is the name. You can see it right there in the top right. So if you ever want to hop in the game, that's me. I'll be here every night or day. It depends, you know, but we're here. We're doing it. But also, I don't know how many people would want to fly helicopters as well. I've seen a lot of like airplane streamers get people, because they'll be doing like a Boeing 737 trip or an A320 or something. It's like, okay, cool, they set the autopilot, they're kind of cruising at 32,000 feet at whatever speeds, and they're just letting autopilot do their thing, or do its thing. So they're just talking, reading chat, answering questions, doing whatever. And everybody else shows up in an A320 or this or this or this or this. And Nana Emo. Okay, Nana Emo, do y'all have customs here? I'm looking at my phone while flying. Y'all should not do this. Maximum speed. Shut up. Let me speed. Let me pause so I can look at the map, the IRL map, so we can say, hey, at least we stopped in customs. nope, doesn't look like an international. Oh well. I guess we continue on, guys. Whoa, okay. Look, everything's okay. All good. Meanwhile, we're here. Might as well. Think he's coming in for a landing? Jezza 8039. There we go, a little bit of terroristic flying. What up, dudes? Okay, back to it. Yeah, one of the U2 rides would be wild. I saw Adam Savage do it, and that, Eckert. I forget his first name, but I think his last name is Eckert. But, whatever the YouTube guy is, it's obviously sponsored by the United States military to go and look at all the cool United States military aircraft and functions and stuff like that to make YouTube videos. He's definitely... He's 100% a paid asset. There's no like, oh cool, he just happens to get lucky to get all this access or whatever. Like, no, they're definitely paying his way. Sam Eckert, that's what the name is. Cool YouTube channel, you gotta watch it. I think he may have been the one talking about the sound barrier and not. I don't remember. But I know he did do a YouTube flight. Okay, we're gonna kind of lock in a heading here. Cut a bit off. So we'll do a little bit of mountain flying here, you know? Eckholm. Sam Eckholm. Yeah, shout out to Sam. I know you're watching. I know you're a huge fan. So... yeah, that'd be... I don't want to say that... I don't know if that would be a bucket list plane as far as currently operational planes. Like, I could of course say like, oh, the SR-71 is my bucket list plane, but they don't fly that thing anymore, that they tell us. But they do fly the U-2 still, so that is up there as far as a plane that could be considered a bucket list would be. What other, like, F-22 would be sick just because I enjoy the fact that they look at what physics is supposed to be and then it laughs and then it does whatever F-22s do. 35, cool. They do a lot of cool, crazy physics-defying demonstrations and stuff, but they just don't do it for me in a sexual way. The 22 does. The F-18 definitely does it for me in a sexual way. It has those little skinny hips, the way it narrows down. But I'd still, if I had the chance, I'd still prefer to ride in the 22. Like, what would be a... I mean, obviously those would be truly bucket lists, because like getting to get up to 80,000 feet in the U2 would be unreal. The 22 would be neat, but it's... I feel like the 22, even though extremely cool, would also be more of an experience machine. Or like a, like one of the NASCAR things, like, oh cool, you can pay $500 or $1,000 or whatever and get to go drive a NASCAR at like 2/3 speed around the racetrack where it's really, really safe at that speed. Or safe, relative term. And it's like, I don't see a purpose of doing that, in the sense that I would want to get the absolute full experience out of it, and to get the absolute full experience out of a 22. I feel like going through the school and learning to fly and like being a certified pilot of a 22, I think that would be the experience I would want from it. I think getting a ride along in it, although extremely cool, would piss me off more than make me happy, just because I wouldn't be allowed to do it myself. But for the U2, I don't really see it as an I'm allowed to do it thing. I look at it more as of a, cool, you get to go stand on top of the tallest thing in the world. You get to go stand on top of Everest. Or you get to stand on the edge of the Grand Canyon. It's a view, it's an experience. I don't think I'd be upset that I'm not flying it. It's not a thought that's like crossed my mind with it. But with the fighter jets, it's like, sure as shit I want to fly it. Put me in a freaking L-39 or T-38 and train me up on that for 6 months, and then jump me over into a 16 or an 18 or whatever. But they would be a bucket list for me if I was allowed to fly it and perform maneuvers and be trained enough to do that. The U2 I could just ride and be happy. So as far as a ride-along airplane, U2 definitely is probably the top of the list, just because it's, from an altitude perspective, it's the GOAT, really, as far as what's still flying. I think some of the MiGs can get up there too, though, right? I think Russia will take you up to the edge of space in a MiG if you pay them enough. That's also one of the things where, like, you can't fly. You probably could. Russia's like, oh, you give us the money, we let you do. You can wiggle this thing. You want to go up, you press the thruster forward, and you can go up. But I would still rather like get the full experience of the MiG, of piloting it. Just a huge ass bay out there and freaking mountains like this. Pacific Northwest, wild. Whew. Yeah, planes to fly that be realistic to fly. Because let's face it, there's not going to be a F-22, even though we talked about it the other night. I think going into Bozeman. I don't think an F-22 is ever going to be something that's on the civilian market. And not like them selling it new, but like, okay, cool, we have some surplus 22s sitting around. I think it'll be, once they hit the service life thing, or some colonel's like, hey, let's, or like a general or whatever was like, hey, let's leave my mark on the Air Force, and we're going to now do the F-37.5. And the 35s are on the chopping block, and the 22s are just old news at that point. And they'll all just be in museums. Or something somewhere. A few decommissioned, a couple of left for like the demo teams that the military-industrial complex will keep in a fighting form, not to fight, but to go around and like hype people up for the military, you know. Cool, you want to sign up for the military? Look, we have F-22s, but not really. Oh. Yeah, I don't think they'll ever reach private hands, but stuff that will reach private hands, there's a couple of like F-5As that are out and about. That'd be super sick to get my hands on, because I believe that's still like an active duty plane for a few countries. or it might not be their primary, but it is something. But something that goes supersonic would be very cool to have. Something with afterburners would be very cool to have or to fly. And those would be on a much more realistic side as well, just because they are in private hands now. And they're old enough, and there were plenty and plenty of those made, unlike the 22s, where it was a something where they could sell it off to private entities for collections or for, I mean, I think any plane like that sold to sorry about this, guys, readjusting. I think any plane like that sold to a private individual would be considered for a collection. I don't think somebody's buying a surplus F-5A as like their first airplane, or like their one airplane. Like you obviously have more if you're just an individual, you know, because there are some people who have the money to get one and put together a program to maintain it. Most, though, it's through like a group or a foundation or something like that, where it's like near me there's the Army Aviation Heritage Foundation, where they have a handful of Hueys and Cobras that they keep alive and they do rides in and go to air shows and stuff. So there are ones that exist like that. But of course there are privately owned Hueys. There's plenty of those. And corporate owned Hueys, or Hueys owned by different operations to do aerial work, whatever. Cobra's probably less on that, but there's probably a few privately owned Cobras that are functional. But there are privately owned F5s and Albatrosses and Talons, I would assume. And I think that most of those people probably have other planes as well. I don't think they just pick up like, cool, we'll use this one so we can fly down to Florida for a vacation. I think they probably have a little Gulfstream or something like that as well, you know, or even like a PC-12, a turboprop something. I don't think a jet's their only, so at that point, I think it's still considered to be part of a collection. Because I don't think it's, you don't buy one of those because it's a practical thing to do. You buy one of those because you're collecting cool military stuff, and what's cooler than cool military stuff that's a plane? Like, okay, yeah, it's a collection, just don't rename it whatever you want to, it's a collection at the end of the day. Get some water. Hope everybody had a good Monday. For me, wasn't too bad. Got up, me and Dino the dog, we decided to head up to my favorite pizza place. Grab a, sit outside, grab a calzone like we usually do on Saturdays. But we were, schedule challenged on Saturday, so we weren't able to get into that. So we went and did that today. He was an extremely good boy. I'm very happy to announce that. Don't know why you'd be surprised to hear that, but an extremely good boy. Sat down basically the whole time, laid down a few times, chilling out. There's only one time that he, I'm not gonna say tried to walk away, but a mother and daughter walked out the door to the patio to like go back and walk to the parking lot. And he took like 1 or 2 steps following them, then turned around and he looked at me, and I was like, that's not your family, dude. You're staying here with me. And yeah, he just sat down. Super good the entire time. So Dino, he's one to look out for. Calzone, great. Brought home another half of it. So that'll be lunch tomorrow. Went to the car show today. Not bad, like I said, mostly cruisers and stuff, and really no notable cars. There's nothing really that was like, oh cool, look at that, if there was something here that I wanted to get, this was going to be it. Nothing like that, sadly. Like there was a C6 Corvette with like a Vortec or Procharger type centrifugal supercharger, I forget which one it was. Manual transmission, lowered had a drag pack on the back, so he had like a Weld Wheels 15-inch conversion. Is it 15s? Yeah, he had 15s on the back, drag radial. But on the front, it was lowered in kind of more of a drifty stance, but not really like heavy camber or anything like that. But he had like a 5-spoke star, looks kind of like an Oz Racing wheel on the front. Didn't recognize the brand. But I was like, oh, cool, that's a different look, and I wasn't mad at it. Orange Jeep, what up, dude? Glad you're here. Welcome. Today we're flying from Seattle-ish to somewhere on the north side of this island in Canada-ish. Adjacent. Somewhere up there. Relatively short flight today, though. Not really following our flight director path, because I wanted to see this eastern coast of this island a little bit. But now we're cutting over the mountains a wee bit so we can see Port Alberni. It's like they tried to make bad names for these towns. Barksville? Really? Like, do they know it sounds stupid? Anyways. Yeah, just an easy cruising flight for us today. Yesterday was an event, that's for sure. Longest stream yet. I think our longest flight yet, too. With the distance that we put in. Started out in Pullman, Washington, the very, very far east of the state. And instead of going straight to the northwest, which wouldn't have been that hard, we kind of went west with a little bit of south mixed in there. Saw the LIGO place where they do gravitational wave research, and the place just north of it where they do nuclear material manufacturing for power stations. Went and saw Mount Rushmore, whole bunch of weather. And then as we were getting to Mount Rainier, a whole bunch more weather. Did a good bit of IFR flying to get there. And when I say IFR, I mean like screaming as we flew in IMC conditions, because it's challenging. Closest airport to now is probably whatever is here in Port Alberni. It looks like there's one kind of off of our like 11 o'clock by about 5 miles. And that's to the west of Nambini. These wild, ridiculous names. But yeah, then Mount Rainier. Near the top of that, fuel light came on, so we kept some altitude, and when I say kept some altitude, I mean stayed at 14,000 plus feet. Started heading towards Tacoma, and once we identified, and I say we, I mean old Georgia plane spotting in here, and the people in chat, we identified an airport that looks like they would most likely have Jet A. And we swung down there, stole some from them at gunpoint, and finished our flight up towards Seattle around the Sky Needle, the Space Needle. Kind of flew across the Olympic Island a bit and set down at whatever that international airport is up there. And it's really only international because I guess Canadian traffic comes through. But yeah, it was a busy flight yesterday, that's for sure. Yeah, definitely one of the longer, more exhausting days or legs or whatever you'd like to call it. And it looks like we're almost going to be following this lake dead ahead of us, kind of straight through, which I don't mind. Especially when we have a sunset like this, but I am expecting it to probably be dark by the time we make Port Hardy. So I may even turn north a little bit to cut down some time instead of like trying to match up with our course. Because again, I'm not familiar with with our area here. I'm not familiar with the mountains. So I don't want to push ourselves too much into flying around peaks that are at our cruise altitude. Although Mama ain't raised no bitch. But I would really enjoy doing this entire series without crashing an aircraft. Because I think that's reasonable. It's not a bad thing to say like, hey, I want to fly 250 hours of pretty simple straight and level flying with occasional IMC conditions and nothing too crazy. I think it's a reasonable thing to say that I would like to not stick this thing into dirt anytime soon, or water, or rock, or snow, or a building, whatever it is. The closest though was I got very sideways in Seattle. That sounds like a movie. We were pretty sideways in Seattle because I was checking chat and the non-centering stick did a bit of a wobble for us. And then when y'all were bad influences on me and convinced me to fly around the airport like a lunatic without ending the flight and then just logging back in a different helicopter somewhere else like we did with the R-22 in Switzerland or France the other day. Part of me wishes I could throw an autopilot right now. But also it's like, do I really just want to sit like this and not do anything my entire 250 hours of doing this? Or do I want to be involved? Do I want to have that little bit of danger of trying to talk to you guys at the same time while I'm doing this? Because both are solid options. There's a little airport or something over to our left out here. Oh yeah, there's a runway down here. Let's swing by real quick, because I need to do something in real life over here. What is your name? Alberni Valley Regional Airport. This is helicopter 42069. The fuck wagon is what we'd like to be considered. Call sign fuck wagon. We are about no miles to your southeast. We are coming in for a steep, hot and heavy approach, just like your mom likes it. Expect us in about 45 seconds to be smacking into your ramp with our little skiddy things. Alberni, whatever airport bullshit, Canadian little thing. Sorry, we'll be out of here before you can even get the trucks rolled. So don't worry about us, toots. You're basically in auto rotation right now. My collective's just down. That's a cool view right there over that lake with that island in the middle. Terrain. I know. Look, I'm not an expert, but if there's anywhere that looks like it's a customs area, that's kind of this place here. So we'll consider this a custom stop. Got the little silly black window there and everything. So I'm not going to park close. I'm going to make them walk their little stupid Canadian legs over here. Come get us, boys. Look, I'll even put the rotors to idle for you. Can I not click? as the Beaver Creek or Alberni Valley. Strange town names in West Canada. Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying. It sounds like they're just making this shit up. I feel like they came up with these names, and they're, like they just, like, tricked Microsoft. They're like, okay, guys, we're going to be doing a flight simulator where we're going to put all your airports in. So if you have any pictures of buildings and you want to let us know, like, your town names or anything cool that we can put in the sim to make it seem more realistic, let us know. You know, it just makes the experience that much better for anybody that's playing along. And they're like, okay, cool, let's fuck with these people. Because, like, you know it was some dude with an Indian accent who called. So I don't know if they actually knew if it was an Indian person or a Canadian immigrant. It's kind of sad. And it's not international. Well, it's going to be. We're just outlaws here today. Bet the lady in the tower is going to give me a cool number to call. Do we have an international between here and Hardy? Is Corudgeonry, whatever that's north of us on the coast there, is it international? It looks big-ish. Oops, sorry about that, guys. Got myself a little zip fizz. Okay, so what we're going to do, guys, since you're not an international, we're just going to sleep in the helicopter. So technically we're not leaving the airport, so there's really no reason to go through customs, right? That makes sense, wouldn't it? If we don't leave the airport, we don't need to do customs. Yeah, it's like they're trying to respect the Alaskan Inuit names or whatever. Good pickup there, Matt. Big fan. Adios, muchachos. Me pene es quince pulgada. Let's go. The amount of gliders that are in this game is unrealistic, in my opinion. I see gliders at almost every airport, and sometimes the entire airport is filled up with gliders, which I know is definitely not a thing. I am mildly interested in gliders, though. I think it'd be a really cool thing to learn. Not so much for the reasons that you would think, though. Like I mentioned the other day, no international airports. Okay, cool, whatever, not worry about it then. Did you just delete yours since you have the mod powers? I don't even know if you can delete your own. Anyways. Yeah, so I kind of want to do gliders for the same reason that I want to be a CFI, and for the same reason that I want to get my scuba instructor certification. I don't want to be a scuba instructor. I don't really want to teach people how to fly. But I think the skills that you learn when doing those particular things is invaluable when it comes to just flying privately and personally. The only international airport on the Vancouver Island is Victoria International. You passed that. I didn't pass it, I ignored it. There's a big difference there. But yeah, we're gonna sleep in the helicopter tonight, boys. I'm sorry about that. That's a me. That's a me oopsie. It's like me undies. Because of our sponsor. Dude, right now my sponsor's Georgia Plane Spotting. If you're following this freaking stream and you see this guy commenting in there, go subscribe to his channel. He has been here every damn day for more or less my entire stream being a homie. Never met this dude in my life. Jake, my other mod, I've never met him. He's an Instagram friend. I've been friends with him for a couple of years now online, just casually. Sean, the other mod who's in here every once in a while, he's a in real life homie. But Georgia Planespotting here, despite being in the same state, never met him. He just found me streaming and he has been here basically every stream since then. Huge homie. He's working on growing his channel. I don't have many, but if you're subscribed to me and following me, then please go check him out just because he's a cool ass dude. Shout out to my sponsor for this episode, Georgia Planespotting. See, I do that so that way I don't have to pay you. No, it's funny, my one of my friends, he's a car guy. Met him in this, is he just an Instagram? Yeah, just Instagram, whatever, shit. Anyways, what a cool little lake area here. But, what was it? Oh yeah, so anyways, he's always looking to buy cars and do modifications and whatever. He's always like, man, I want to do this. Somebody sponsor me. So I'll send him $1. Like the first one, I was like, man, I need some sponsors for this car bill. So I sent him $1. I was like, multi-shot Matt sponsorship spot secured. So technically multi-shot Matt sponsors him. And then he was like, man, I need some coilovers for this car. So I sent him another $1. It's like coilover sponsor. And I think I've sent him like $6 or $7 now just for whatever dumb shit that he says he's looking for a sponsor for. But he did say if I were to make a cool sticker or something that could advertise the channel but not be just like a Instagram or YouTube, like the play button with the channel name. This is so beautiful, look at that. And he's like, yeah, if you can make something that's not just that like looks cool, or like come up with an emblem or whatever, then he would definitely put a sticker on one of his cool cars or race cars or something like that. So cool homie. And his I think I mentioned him yesterday, and his girlfriend is the one that mentioned or suggested the airplane museum just east of Sturgis that we stopped at a few days ago. Yeah, dude, shout out. Well deserved to all like 5 people that were watching. I mean, you deserved a lot more just because you're in here and always being a homie, but for anybody who's watching or will be watching in the future, going back through this one, you're like, man, I wonder where Matt made it big. Oh, it was his Going Around the World series, and they're rewatching this. That's the dude. Follow him. And I know for a fact cool stuff's coming from his channel in the future, because he's talked about having different spots to go check out, doing plane spotting up at Hartsfield Jackson Airport here in Atlanta, and PDK and all these cool spots. Cool dude. Hates Airbuses though, absolutely despises Airbuses. Don't know why. I'm like, dude, just be an Airbus fan. But despises Airbuses. Why did tectonic plates have the West Coast so we want crazy landscapes over here? I mean, if I could take back, like, assuming that you could take back in time a single airport, let's just say like somewhere relatively centrally located, like let's say Nashville-ish to the East Coast. Maybe like Raleigh or something. But to go back however many millions of years to fly around and see what it was like with maybe billions, however far back it was when the Appalachians were allegedly like Rocky Mountain sized before they got eroded away. Your old channel name is Boeing Fan. Yeah, obviously. Yeah, that's why I was like, yeah, he's an Airbus hater. He has an alt account called Airbus Hater 101. Airbus Hater 320neo. He never watched The Matrix just because he knew Airbus was going to call one of the planes a Neo, and just didn't even want to support that. Damn tectonic plates, what are y'all doing out here? Holy crap. But speaking of Airbus and Boeing and passenger airliner type planes, I honestly still have no idea the quick and easy way to tell the difference between the two. There's like, I make guesses when I see stuff flying over, because like I kind of have like flight paths memorized. Like, okay, cool, if this plane's this high going over our house in this direction, he's going like one of 4 places most of the time. But like, there's people where they see like the front, where there's like the windows, the cockpit windows or whatever. Like, oh yeah, that's obviously a 320. Like, how? But also, like, I'm the same way with helicopters, you know, like there's ways to tell the differences between all the Airbus H145s and stuff. Pangea, what up? Back when it was good. But even the Earth liked segregation and thought that it was a good idea, so it kind of split up. Yeah, so like I've like personally downloaded a handful of pictures of different helicopters to like teach myself differences in the like BK-117, the EC-145, the H-145, and the second generation H-145, so the D2 and the D3, and like all the differences between those. Also, I do want to make a correction. And I was like, I'm pretty sure I've seen it before, but I'm not sure what I was looking at. But there is retractable gear models of the Bell 429. I was mentioning nobody really competing in the retractable gear category for a 2-engine, like small to medium-sized aircraft. I was like, I'm pretty sure I've seen Bell 429s with that, but when you just search Bell 429, it usually just shows you skid models. But I was like, let me just search, like, RG or LG or retractable gear landing gear, whatever. And it popped up, so it is a thing, it is an option. I just apparently hadn't been paying attention. Let's see. Airbus A320 has a rounded nose, round engines, and tall landing gear. 737s have pointed noses, are short, and have engines with flat bottoms. Okay, so flat bottoms is a Boeing thing. I'm extremely autistic when it comes to commercial airplanes. Show me a picture of a plane and I will give you the high. Hell yeah, that's the way it should be. Yeah, dude, there's one picture that I've honestly Google searched more than any other photograph. If you look up like H145 versus H135, there's a picture that has 6 photos on it. 2 are like one EC135, one H135. Very small differences between those. But then it shows you the 4 different 145 models, from the BK-117 to the EC to the first H to the second H. And it kind of has circles that show you the difference, even though it circles the tail on the D3. But I don't know why. I don't see any differences with the verticals or horizontals in the back, at least I've noticed just looking. Maybe there's some small detail or angle or whatever. But the big thing between the D2 and the D3 is the 4-blade and 5-blade. So this is a D2. It's definitely not the 117 or the D1, because we have a finished drum tail rotor here. D-height, what up? But the finished drum and closed tail rotor, that's a D2, D3 thing. Before that, it was a standard open tail rotor design. And the way to tell apart the first 2 145s The first ones had as far as it had like two verticals kind of on the side of the horizontal, and in the first one they're very big and blocky, and then the Gen 2 or whatever, the EC145, it's more delta shaped, if that makes sense. Okay, anyways, back to this. Let's pay attention to flying. But yeah, I know there's other differences as far as like engines and power plants, avionics and options and accessory ways and stuff, but that's generally the way to tell for those. Data firing honey. Also, the H145, 135, the 145 is longer. It's like the limousine model. So if you were to look at the 135, this middle window here basically doesn't exist. It kind of ends off there. So this has an extra window's worth of seating space in the back. But the 117s are kind of easier to tell just because they look much older. And when you look at the the vertical fins on the side of the horizontal stabilizer, you go, okay, cool. Well, obviously look at these fucking mountains. Holy shit. Damn, Vancouver Island, you're fucking pretty. But yeah, I think those verticals on the side of the horizontals, like one obviously looks way older. The second one looks much more streamlined or sharper or whatever. And then you get to the Finistrom one, the big way to tell is the 4-blade versus 5 blades for D2 versus D3. Correct on the vertical below the tail rotor. But yeah, the big way 135 to 145 is just the length of it. And then it's the big thing to really show off your skills, knowing the difference between the 145s. Look, there's still even freaking taller stuff over there. Very cool. Look at this lake. Just came across the 160. Yeah, dude, the 160 is so good looking. Holy crap. There is a 160 model that the people that made this 145 model that they have as an offering. I've yet to purchase it. It's like a $60 model, which I'm not against. I'm still considering it. But maybe later in the series, because I'm not going to say that we're going to get a sponsor or something later. But later in the series, and more people are watching, hopefully we'll be the 1,000 subscriber mark, because we've already got 2 or 3 subscribers today just in this stream. And then it can monetize, and it's like, okay, cool, now there's at least some form of money coming in, so I can justify spending another $60 on that. But their 160 model apparently is very, very good. And like, I like the gray color, because there's a couple of gray silver 160s that are currently being used for like yachts. But PHI, the company here in the US that does a lot of the oil platform transport and stuff, the yellow ones, they do have an H160, and the yellow livery on the 160 looks pretty damn good. So if you look up the PHI H160, you're gonna be like, oh damn, that yellow livery is pretty sick. To Bella Bella, or even Bella Cola is nice and nestled in a valley between tall mountains. Is that north of Hardy? Is it still on the island, or is it past the island? We're going to crest this thing. I don't care what this downdraft is doing to me. We have 2 engines and a lot of balls. So we're going for this little saddle up here. If anything, we'll stop at Hardy and do a refuel or something. And if it's north of Hardy, and it's not too late, because we're doing decent on time, we can head up there. Also, like, we could make it to New Zealand in this series because there's a way to make it to Australia, and people have done the helicopter jump between Australia to New Zealand. One of my streams that I did, I think I used it as a thumbnail, but I have a red 145 parked at an airport. Big mountains around, snowy. It'd be neat to get down there for a stream, but I may do like a Pacific Island tour or like a across Australia and get to New Zealand sort of thing. Because like I said, I want to do a Pan American thing after this to continue having a series. North of Hardy. Oh yeah, like I said, that PHI one looks good. But yeah, we'll judge it when we get up here. I'm not saying no, I'm not saying yes. Depends on how bad I have to pee here. Yeah, PHI yellow, very hot. Also, I'm curious about Friday's stream, because I was talking about subscribers here. Friday's stream got like 2 times more views than everything else. And I'm not sure if it's just because it was Friday and people were off, or the thumbnail is good. I did like the thumbnail. The blue 225 is a good looking helicopter. And I'm trying to keep all the thumbnails around the same style of having the helicopter kind of at this angle or something facing left. Trying to keep that as a consistent theme. I'm using the exact same font and everything. I'm literally just replacing the photograph underneath of the font and everything in the thumbnails. But I know thumbnail art is a science, so I'm curious if the thumbnail for Friday was just that much better, or if there was something completely different that just happened to be, or it was just the Friday thing. I guess we'll see, because I'll stream again this Friday and I'll try to make a slightly less attractive thumbnail for this Friday. But I'm curious to see if it is something that was maybe the colors or something just lined up on that. Yeah, I know you would like to go piss with me. Put on the VR and I just put it in see-through mode and let y'all ride along. I can green screen myself into the game here and just submit it to Scenic Pisses. By the way, that's a fun Instagram account if you don't follow it, Scenic Pisses. It's a whole bunch of people, like, you see a cool stream while they're looking down and they look up and it's a view like that. Yeah, honestly, I would rather sit through having a piss than go piss while on stream. At least at this point. Is that flat topped or is the clouds coming out? It looks like it's flat topped. Like, yeah, maybe if I had, I'm not gonna go pee on stream till I have the views. But it's also like, this series, even though it's for me, at the same time I'd like it to be nice for anybody watching. I'd like for it to gain some attention, because like I said, if we can get it to where this series will monetize itself a little bit, then cool, I'll buy the 160, you know. Or we'll try to do something else, or I'll get a better graphics card or something so we can step up the quality. Because like at the end of the day, like, I'll just pour it all back in here. And at the end of the day, I'd rather have the LLC run as a business loss than a business gain. It just makes more sense that way financially. So I'd rather make some money than spend it and reinvest it into it. Like, I'd rather wait to go piss on stream until it's already at that point. Because I can just imagine, like, as soon as I step away, 40 people join the stream and they're like, oh man, why is Matt so quiet? Multi-shot Matt, where are you at? Oh, you'd rather play with your wiener than talk on stream to all of us? Oof. That's a bad image to have. Also, weirdly, one thing I'm curious about, the further north, big wind gust coming off of that right there. The mountain winds are a thing. The further north we go, the less detail that, and the more rural, definitely. The further north and the more rural that our trip becomes here, the less detail that the satellite imagery is going to have on the ground. So it's going to become less and less pretty. Maybe this is just because it's the middle of Vancouver Island, not many people are looking at satellite imagery, or maybe it's just such a steep hill here that they really can't get good pictures. Look at that reveal right there. Damn. Very cool. But I do wonder what the photogrammetry is going to look like when we get further north into much more remote, like Eastern Russia. I think it's going to be, like I said, I think that's going to be the most boring thing. Which, brute forcing Eastern Russia with a Chinook or with the 222 or the 225, something that's either fast or long range or both. So the Chinook's probably the best bet there if we're looking for fast and long range. But I'd much rather brute force that just to get through it quicker, and I'd rather have 2 to 3 episodes of that than 6 episodes of that. I'd much rather suffer for a few days for longer during those days. Of course, the same amount of time for me and people that want to watch the entire thing either way. But at least as far as days for days, I'd rather have less episodes of dealing with that. But like, yeah, that's just like low pixel count there, and I think it's just because there's no reason for a lot of these satellites to really get detail on this area. Because at the end of the day, it's like, cool, it's just mountains, and there's nothing really interesting to see past the base photogrammetry of just knowing it's a mountain. So why waste the resources to really put into that? We're going to have to do a little bit of climbing here, because that peak up here looks like it's going to be something that we need to go over with our current path. I'm not going to go around, so we're going to go like a 500 foot per minute climb. Look at this reveal. Some low fog and low clouds in the valley out there. Hell yeah. All the homies say, hell yeah. Oh, there's a road down there. So we're not middle of nowhere, but we're out there. I'm losing altitude, that's not what I want to do. But we are now out of radar altimeter range. We're above 2,500 foot above the ground. Nope, we're going to keep climbing. You listen to me. Dude, imagine having like a little ass convenience store out here. Gotta drive an hour to work, but you only have like 16 Snickers to sell, and like that's all you sell in a month. Is that a path up here? Or is it just this part of the mountain up in front of us? Not this first saddle that we're close to, but this next saddle. Or is that just a rock, something that looks like a path that's been captured? Yeah. With the sunset now, I'm curious though if we're going to make it to Hardy in time. Because the Garmin's here aren't. You're not giving me a time like my other stuff was. Maybe. Unless that's time since I took off. Bottom left there it says 68 minutes. So I'll come back and look at that here in a few minutes and see what it says. It says nav down there, so that is navigation related. Yeah, exactly. Like, literally people driving out here to go park to go hike. I'll just sell some Nature Valley bars or something. It says 66 minutes, so yeah, it looks like we have an hour to Hardy. Allegedly. If I can keep up the pace. Wish I got this here too. Zoom out. Oh yeah, I can see that. 'Cause, I mean, it took us a bit since in Namini, whatever that place was. Can't even see the bay over there anymore. Don't ding at me. There we go. A lot of paths and stuff on these. You see the switchbacks. And now with these switchbacks being in these balder spots of the mountain, I'm curious if that's logging. Which, fun fact, they do logging with helicopters, especially in remote places like this. So very possible these scars here with these switchbacks are from logging operations, which, yeah, it even looks like there's down tree photogrammetry on that. But it's also probable that they did a winch at the top of the hill, which is a whole different wild setup. But also good probability that there's been commercial work for helicopters, production work. Which heli logging is a wild thing to watch. I mean, I don't want to say you're taking like max weight limits, but like you have to trust your people on the ground to know how much weight that they can put on a rope or on the hook. And then you're doing that at a place that's probably a significant bit above sea level here, so we're at 4,300 feet here. And potentially even higher in some of these areas. Above sea level doing it. Up hills, down hills, your out of ground effect. Very unique world of helicopter piloting for work like that. Now it says 81 minutes. The hell are you talking about? You said 60 the other. I don't trust you. It's a whole new form of GPS time to beat. But yeah, what the fuck is this island? It's like I also like to imagine that I'm a pretty rough and tough fella, you know? Being able to go out and survive and do things and backpack and hunt and camp and fish and clean and cook and get by. Like there's really no doubt in my mind that I wouldn't be able to just like grab my basic go bag and for the most part indefinitely survive. But if somebody were to tell me that my goal was to do that indefinite survival while crossing this terrain, that's a whole different story. Because I'm familiar with the wildlife, the resources, and you know, everything about my area, everything about the Georgia, Tennessee, Carolinas, Florida, this whole southeastern area of the U.S. Like there's mooses up here, there's elk, I would assume shit ton of bears. The cold, the temperate climate's completely different. I don't know how well I would do up here, which I'm sure a lot of the skills would cross over in a decent enough fashion. But as far as 72 minutes, okay. But as far as, you know, any weird specific things to this area, no clue. I don't know anything about the small plants out here. I don't know anything about their mushroom mycelium. I won't say stock, but whatever the mycelium and mushroom life is like out here, what I could forage for. Like, pray that I could find some berries somewhere and hope that it's not been noticed by any sort of, like, 1,800-pound grizzly bear that stands 10 foot tall on its back legs before it even raises its hands. Yeah, it's a whole different world. So I can pour a little bit more steam into this bad boy here. Watch my gauges, keeping it around the red. But yeah, decent enough day today. Got some good stuff done. Tomorrow, gonna be more productive on other ways. Today was the big thing, was taking Dino out, because we were supposed to do something this weekend, and I got my free time, so might as well do that today and just be like, oh man, sorry bud, can't do it till next time. This dumb dog is smart enough now where he knows the name of the restaurant. He's only been there like 5 times. If we say the name of the restaurant, he perks up and he starts attacking you because he's like, hell yeah, guys, I know exactly what time it is. We're about to get in the car. I put his little freaking harness on, let him out the door. He runs exactly to the passenger door of my truck. It's like, cool, I know we're going here. We're not just going for a walk. We are going to this place because you said the name of the restaurant. Freaking little genius pup. Which my other dog, Ellie, she's smart. She's a smart dog. But more in like a manipulative way. And she's smart enough where she's done well in her life, you know. But she's not like Dino smart. Dino's just another level of smart. He's like a 4-year-old child smart. Which I wish there was a way to, which I'm sure there is a way, but I wish there was a way to like really measure that. Just to see like, okay, cool, I want to know like what you can understand and comprehend me telling you. Because not only does it do the thing where it looks like he's listening to you, like he will process what you say and then do something that's extremely relevant to what you were saying. It's like words or the context or the way you say it or what you're doing or what you're wearing. He can figure out a lot about what you're doing just because he knows what processes are. I put on a hat and he freaks out because he knows I'm about to leave the house. I come home, the first thing he does, he removes the hat from my head and then takes it downstairs to my room and leaves it down here. So, like, he's got some stuff figured out that most people wouldn't realize. They can be smart. You just gotta work with them, unless they don't want to be worked with, and then they're smart enough to know better than to show off that they can be smart. See, if he was really smart, he would try not to show off and he would just relax. But I think he's kind of like me, where he likes to be challenged with doing things and figuring things out and thinking and following. I don't think he'll ever be a dog who's just like, okay, cool, I just want to lay down and do nothing all day. Try to find the nicest place to lay down and nap. I think he's always going to be always going to be the sort of dude that just wants to go do something, which I'm all for. But something else I noticed that's freaking ridiculous, and I put it together a little bit later. So, obviously, when a dog licks you, we call it a kiss, but it's licking for them. When we kiss a dog, what we're basically doing to them, their perception is we're just pushing our lips and our nose against them. And that's what it is to them. Like, so what he started doing when he's greeting me, or like waking me up in the morning, he just pushes his snout against me. He'll lick me once or twice or a few times just because like that's his initial reaction. But then he starts just smushing his snout against me, because that's what I do to him. I smush my lips and my nose against him. So he smushes his mouth and his nose against me. No kisses, no nothing, just smushes it against my face. And it took a week or so of him doing it for me to go like, he's just imitating what we do to him. Like, I don't know if anybody else's dog does that. Maybe it's just a breed thing. Maybe that's something that they do. But I legitimately think he's imitating what everybody else does to him. Because that would make the most sense with everything else that he does. He already imitates a whole bunch of other stuff that we do in different ways and forms, and recognizes a whole bunch of stuff in different ways and forms. Like who else's dog would take their hat off their head and take it downstairs when they get home? Like, okay, cool, take off my hat, and just goes and takes it to my room. Done. And he's figured some shit out. He's a cool dude. I will kill for Dino. Let's see. What's this at? 72 minutes again. Like, what are you measuring? I'm curious what it's trying to figure out down there. See, that right there is saying 92.5 miles. But to what? To our... Did it say miles, or was that nautical miles? 92.7 nautical miles. But we're getting closer. Yeah. Maximum speed. Shut up. You're trying to read the screen with VR. Get over it. Maximum speed. There we go. Cool. There you go. Or is that from our last point? I feel like we've been further than 90-something nautical miles since we took off. Hmm. 93.4, 93.5. So yeah, it's going up. But I want to know how far we are from it. What does he do that's smart? What is his smart trick, or what things has he figured out where you're like, oh, wait a second, you're paying attention more than we expect you to pay attention. Because like I've noticed, like, increasing attitude over time with Dino too, which is freaking funny. Like, one of his things, which we're about to start again since it's getting warm outside, after dinner, we will usually, like in the summer, spring, whatever, spray him with a water hose. Fucking loves it. Run around, bark, sprint back and forth, chase the water, chomp at it. He will do it he will do it until he collapses if he could, but we'll stop him after a bit. Anyways, after dinner, they usually eat like 5:20. The first thing he does is he will find me and jump up and be like, hey dude, just so you know, just ate dinner. We gotta go play in the water, you know? Like, we gotta go do the water hose. Let me read your comment real quick. He learns fast. He doesn't do dumb stuff, and he also doesn't take shits in the house. Dude, that's a big... There's people that I don't say I've dated. I feel like I've dated a girl in the past who's like... has like a 5-year-old or 6-year-old dog, and she still puts like pee pads in the house for him. Like, just teach your dog not to piss in the house. Easy. Well, it's like, so it may be a dumb owner also. Um, yeah, so Dino, he'll come downstairs or find me wherever I'm at and be like, yo, dude, just so you know, I finished eating. So, you know, about time for you to stand up and you can come to me and you can go outside. We can play with the water hose. You know, it'll be fun. And then he'll leave. I don't tell him to leave. He'll just come down and he'll visit me for like 30 seconds. Just kind of like I said, like, yo, bro, like it's time. I ate dinner. We can go play now. 5 minutes later, because I'll just stay down and not get up. 5 minutes later, he comes back and he's like, bro, I was down here a few minutes ago. You heard me. Tired of you sitting there, but like we should go outside and play. You know, the sun ain't getting any higher. You know, we got to get out here while the light's still good. Come on. And then he'll run away. 5 minutes later, it's like, okay, motherfucker, listen up. I was in here twice, and you did not get your ass off that seat. And me, and you, we have to go outside now. So get up. Then he'll leave again. And then like 30 seconds later after that one, he comes and like bitch slaps me. Listen here, you stupid human. I mean, Dad. We're going outside right now. And then he like grabs my hand with his teeth and he starts pulling me off the couch or the seat or wherever I'm trying to hide from because I think it's funny. And yeah, he legitimately has like an increasing attitude the more you don't listen to him when he wants to go outside and play in the water hose. Freaking champ. Yeah, like you were saying with yours, like he learns fast. Like people underestimate how smart different dogs can be just by like the speed of how they figure something out. Ooh. We're getting up to an approach path up here, boys. Look at that, top of the screen up here on my iPad. Hell yeah. Plus these paths and roads and whatever else are becoming more and more prevalent, so. Yeah, and that's why you listen to dogs. Yeah, dude, people underestimate how smart their dogs are when they figure stuff out. Because, like, even if your dog seems more on the lazy side or just, like, not doing stuff, it's probably because they were like, oh, man, it's going to be much easier for me if I just do this. And they're kind of like me running, like, an effort versus outcome algorithm, like, all the time. It's like, oh, I could do this, but I could do this, and he's going to scratch my belly, too. So that's something to think about. Okay, yeah, cool. We're basically here at the airport. It's got us on this little approach coming into it. Just south of Port Hardy there. Hell yeah. That's what I want to see. We'll do a refuel. We'll check the map. We'll see how far away, say Bella Bella or something. We'll see how far away that looks for us. Throw a little bit of go juice in this bad boy. And not get out of the helicopter because we're not cleared by customs. Sorry, ladies. Oh yeah, by the way, I don't know if y'all knew this, but we have some passengers. What up, guys? Do you have anybody else back here? Oh, there's somebody right there wearing gloves. Strange. Okay. Dalai Lama? What is that? Don't know if my air conditioning, Bella Coola, that's it. Don't know if my air conditioning is making a weird noise or is there a jet outside? Air conditioning making a weird noise. Okay, cool. Also, let me just type in Bella Coola real quick. Geez, Bella Coola's way the fuck up there. I was thinking more Bella Bella, because that's keeping us near the coast without having to go too far inland. Oh, whoop, 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 whoop. Whoop, 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 whoop. Jeez. It's so annoying coming back from the freaking the pause menu. Remind me now, we're gonna set down instead of pressing the fucking pause button if we're in the air. That would have been no bueno. At least we had enough elevation to where that was dealable, but it almost wasn't. It was like the 145. I mean, it has the good rotor head set up on it to where it could be aerobatic capable if you wanted to use it that way. But I don't think they would appreciate that. It's kind of frowned upon, and you want to have a little bit of altitude when you do it. But it is realistically possible to say that if that were to be a thing that happened. You'd still probably want to check it out because you're probably snatching collective and everything and over-torquing significantly. But you could probably save it and set it down and survive. Yeah, for now on, if we're in this thing at least, the stock helicopters seem to have a bit more like of a catch with them to where they're able to continue straight and level after a pause menu, but this one apparently does not care for that whatsoever. Bella Coola would be neat, but that's so far inland. Which, like, not really so far inland. But I think I had looked at that one in Bella Bella, and I had Bella Bella marked on my course mapping on my phone of kind of where I'm expecting this path to go. A little road or something here. It's a lighter stripe. Looks like it might have been at one point. Flying straight and level, guys. Definitely not just hugging the side of the wheel. That's a weird little forced perspective thing. Let's get our pony back up and get some speed going. Pull up. Pull up. Watch your mouth. I did not ask you to speak my language. I am a sacred being and you are an Airbus H-145. You do not get permission to speak my tongue to me. Ever. Last little hill crest. Yeah, I'd consider a jump to Bella Bella for tonight, but I don't know if I want to do Bella Coola. Or, here's an option. We do Port Hardy here. We end the flight, call that good for today flight-wise, as far as the around the world part of this. But then we go to that super crazy cool place in New Zealand, and we fly that one a little bit. Or we go to Bella Coola and fly that one, but I think that's like an hour-ish detour onto the entire thing to head out there for that as far as part of the around the world journey. We'll see what Bella Bella looks like once we get up here.
Or we steal an airplane from the airport up here, and we fly to Bella Coola with an airplane. It's also a neat option. My radar altimeter is freaking out. 300, 280, 260, 200, 300. Let me fly. My ship, I'm in control. What a whole bunch of silly names for their freaking points going in. We're even going to cut those. We're not going to follow that completely. Get another little crest here. Don't look at me. You're sitting in the side seat for a reason. You're not in this seat because you're not me. These people, tell you what, dude. Every single one of them. It's funny, I keep looking at this map. I'm like, cool, we'll be there in like 2 minutes, but I'm way more zoomed out than I think I am. Oh no, do I not have access to that anymore? Cool. Yeah, dude, this freaking island is a different animal. Like, there's more mountain in this island than there is in the entire Appalachian chain. Oh, look at the level of the sun right there. You see that? I'm gonna gain altitude just to get back into the sunlight. Come back, sun. It's going below the horizon quicker than I can go up. I'm going up freaking 1,200 feet per minute right now. Come on. There we go. Oh, shut up, you're not over torqued. You're just a bitch. Miss Torque Day. This is still part of the Rockies? I mean, I wouldn't doubt it, because I mean, would that mean that McKinley's technically part of the Rockies as well, or? There you go, I'm flying, slightly gaining altitude, and you can still see the sunlight creeping up on the mountain over there that bleed through from the sunset. You are not over torquing. Be quiet. You just missed engine day at the gym. I believe that's us slightly to the right over there. Port Hardy should be that. We'll click our little button right here real quick to see. Oh no, we're way up there. That's Port McNeil in front of us. Gross. I don't want to go to Port McNeil. What am I, poor? This map's still way more zoomed out than I expect. guess 120, 130 knots just ain't what it used to be, you know? Okay, so since we're going to do a separate flight to Bella Cola, you thinking a sunrise flight into it? Or a sunset flight where I can just turn this time back a little bit? I feel like sunrise maybe if we're going, because we'll be feeding west to east going into the cove, it looks like. All these waypoints got me hyped up, like, oh man, hell yeah, we're on the close approach, but no, it's a freaking airplane approach. Sunrise, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay, I think I see it now, out there at the tip of the laser. No, still not it, damn. Got a fucking trip. Who knew flying around the world would be so much distance? Like, literally, who would have expected? But now we're also kind of here back at the water area, so we can look at that water crossing going up here, peeling, like that's going to be a long jump, whatever this is. When we're up into Alaska, there's more places in Alaska, but we definitely need to zoom in there. And now this feels like a completely different island than it did 10 minutes ago. I was like, of course, yeah, we got near the water now, so we have the water off to our right. But I mean, hell, even just looking over there, it looks completely different than a few minutes ago. I mean, Washington was like that too when we flew over Washington. What do they do here? Like, what's the export from Vancouver Island? It looks like there's a quarry or something right there. Obviously trees, because we saw logging scars. It looks like those are even logging scars right there. With those little islands of trees and these things, that looks like logging roads to where it would have... Excuse me, I'm readjusting in my seat. No big deal, no big deal. Okay, here's a fun question for you. Do we fly an appropriately sized airplane into Bella Cola? Or do we fly something significantly larger than what should probably be allowed to fly into Bella Cola? And if it is something significantly larger, is it something that I can figure out how to start up? Or will I just need to press the Shift E and let it start itself up? Or start on the runway with it running? Start thinking of aircraft to send in there. I was kind of thinking PC-12, because that's kind of like a turboprop, short field capable, still got some ponies in her sort of thing, you know, 1,000 horsepower-ish. Tell me that's not the fucking airport that I'm looking at there. Oh, it is. It just has this playing pattern. Port Hardy Airport, this is helicopter 42069, call sign Fuckwagon. We are about 10 miles to your southeast. We are inbound direct to ramp. We're parking up for the night. We do not expect to step out of the helicopter except to piss and to defecate on your ramp because we have not cleared customs. Helicopter 42069. Fuckwagon to whatever airport. Hardy. No, something way too big. PC-12 is fine. I like that plane. We'll do way too big to Belacola, and then we'll do PC-12 into the one that's in New Zealand, because we'll hit both of those. We got some time. Kegro. Is that a slur? They not like Koreans? Apparently I'm on a relatively decent glide slope for this if I was an airplane. It looks to me like I got 4 whites there. The way I like to see it. You're literally not over torqued. Alright, give me 2 reds, 2 reds, 2 reds, 2 reds. Shut up. Yeah, slower night tonight, view-wise, it looks like. But it's also it's a school night, so, you know, not everybody has my luxury of fun employment with the film industry at the moment. Yeah, it really does make me not worry. It makes me think about Fridays. I said nothing crazy happened, but we doubled the views, and it might have just been a Friday thing. I'm thinking it was just an end of the week people are off, and oh cool, somebody flying around the world with a freaking Airbus Super Puma that's blue? Okay, we'll watch that. A purple airplane on the freaking screen. This is definitely a steep approach because we are still 4 whites. But like I said, we're going direct to ramp, so. .4 descent. Should end up being about perfect. Coming in at 140 knots though. Freaking passing Cessnas. We're almost as fast as the damn Cirrus coming in behind a Cessna. Ramp at our own discretion. Let's go. Start lowering my collective. Leveling out the flight. Let's nose down attitude. Slightly nose back attitude. I don't know. That looks long enough for like a small passenger jet of sorts. ERJ 145 or something. Okay, where's y'all's fuel box up a new bit? I think we figured out there was no marked fuel box on the map. I'm looking. Let's see one. Let's turn the landing lights on. Oh, there's a little fuel box there. Okay, cool. That's about where I thought it was going to be, because I think it said unknown for that spot. Freaking, do y'all not know how to park airplanes in like some sort of like semblance of of care for anybody else coming in here. So that one had its lights on, I think. I know there's just something kind of burned into the imagery. Terrain. What blinked at me? A freaking forklift. Go away! Do you not know that the helicopter's running right here, you fucking idiot? Let's see, it's shutdown procedure starting. Landing lights off. Position anti-collision. Transfer pumps can go off. Pitot heater. Turn that off. Turn that off. Don't lean backwards. You are in idle. Literally zero reason. One in ones disappear for me. Okay, guys, y'all can go out on the ramp if you want to, but I'm staying in here. I don't want to have a conflict. Come on. Come on. Let's see, Shift C. Okay, far as get Ghost. Okay, as far as our around the world trip goes, that's it for the around the world trip today. H145 from Seattle-ish to the northern side of Vancouver Island. Tune in next time. But if you want to stick around, we're gonna go be weird with fixed wing things because fixed wings are weird. So yeah, let's get into that now. And flight. We're at the fuel box there. And we're gonna do sunrise. Still looks like the longest runway. It says departure. Bella Coola is up in here. Is that it? Rivers Inlet? YRN? Or are we further up? There's Bella Bella. So Bella Coola is the one that's deep in here. Okay, cool. Got it. IFR. We're going clear skies. Clear, back. Fixed wings are weird. Turn that frown upside down. RJ100 flies there. Anyways. Interesting. Okay, let's see. What do we have? Let's go all. Albatross. We're doing something too big with this. Don't know if I'm talented enough to get one of these off the ground at this airport. Could probably get the 400M off the ground. Maybe. King Air is kind of appropriate. 404 would be appropriate. That would be larger side of appropriate. If you see something, say something. 930 would be appropriate. But we're going for bigger than appropriate. What the fuck is that thing? ES30, slightly bigger than appropriate. Significantly larger than appropriate. PC12, perfectly appropriate. 24. Saab 340. Citation. Okay, what'd you see? I was thinking either Saab 340, I might be able to pull it off of that, or whatever this other one was, the ES30 from Hart Aerospace. A320, let's see if we can get off the ground. I'll set the weight as low as it possibly can go. We'll see if it's doable. A320, configure. Fuel and payload, manage mass, quick fill 0, I want it empty, cargo, fuel, 28%, empty, let's sure load an aircraft, tab, save and back. Oh, it doesn't even fly yet, so it's just kind of in the game as a preemptive, could work sort of thing. Okay, with this said, when coming from 270, let's do set its departure there. Because I honestly do not know the startup procedures for this. I could go through the whole thing. But with the airport being that small, may be a pain in the ass. So I'm not going to worry about that. Let's start the flight. I need to make sure my maps are good on this. That way I can actually do throttle and braking and everything. Why are you starting me over here? Literally not what I wanted. Okay, guys, let's do a pre-flight. Do I get a start button anywhere? Oh. A little bitty cover right here. Get rid of you. I don't think I have anything else out here. I could look at a whole bunch of stuff, but I don't want to look at stuff like, oh yeah, look, my landing gear looks great. Great job. Let's see, Shift C, let's hop in. I'm going to do Shift E. Or Control E. Ha ha ha. My plane. Okay, rudders work. That works. Brakes work, I believe. Throttles work. That works the tiller as well. Let's see, left engine starting, right engine starting. familiarize myself with what we have going on. We have ground spoilers, we have flaps, parking brakes right there. Really the only thing I care about is flaps, because that's going to get us off the ground here. Everything else is... What's the back seats look like back here? Is that a thing? I just like... Nope. Okay, cool. So they're all moving. I can turn the parking brake off. Go! Can I help you? Indecent exposure. Watch your wing. Chill. Daddy. Ugh. Okay, so weird thing, I think my brakes are backwards. Let's see. Controls. Brake axis. I don't want to be on Apache. Invert. Can I not set inverted axis? Okay, so let's... Oh, yep. My brakes are backwards, but for some reason I can't do anything about that. What are these people doing over here? We'll swing wide for my wing. Wider. Okay, that's good enough. Hope you're happy. Look at what I'm doing for you. Okay, so what I want to do real quick, set flaps to full. I need every single bit of lift that I can get out of here. That's not where you go, bud. Chill. Chill. You cut in line like that? Okay, I'm going to kind of follow your lead here because I think I'm going to need more runway. Nobody's told me I can't do this. Let me see where the gear's right there. Okay, cool. Gears on the front. Oh, carry for fun, go. Fine, you know, I'm not going to listen to anybody. We are here. And they are my bitch. I'm in a much bigger airplane. Come on, steer correctly. Shut up. I don't need no master caution. Ah! I forgot rotate speeds and stuff. Yeah, rotate. This is definitely a positive rate. So gear's going to go up. We are going to bring flaps forward a little bit, because we're definitely in the air. Okay. I forget the flaps. We don't need those anymore. We're still full fucking tilt on the engines. I'm going to chill out on that a little bit. Look at this, boys. Welcome to Air Matt. We have no idea what's going on, but we are doing it. I'm still trying to fly this a bit like a helicopter, so excuse me. I'm over here messing with the collective because that's what I have set as my braking axis. Shoo! Okay, cool. Cool. We totally did it. Nobody there knew that I was not a pilot, which is the important part. Can I scoot up a little bit? Yeah, forward a little bit? Okay, cool. We rocking now, boys. Let's go. Let's go. Throttle's all the way up. Toga. We are going around to Bella Coola. Elaine, what are you doing in here? Why didn't you help me any with that? Boy, we are toasting the throttle. Look at that. Master caution, blah blah. Auto flight, auto throttle limited. Neat. Don't care. Blip. We're flying Airbus A320. Oh, see you later, Gary. But they have no idea where I'm going. Idiots. And this is how you make $120,000 a year, guys. Right here. Oh, there's a dude over me. I hope he knows that I have no idea what I'm doing. Turn up the throttles and see if we can hear it. Hell yeah. Die. I mean, I guess this is live, so live players and everything. How many go-arounds are we predicting with this approach up here? Well, he's in a RAF freaking Typhoon, so he could probably do stuff like that. But ooh, we're overspeeding. But I just don't have a Typhoon model loaded or downloaded or purchased or whatever. So we just don't get to see his cool model. Thank you. Also, if you're here flying around and like a very small chance that you're watching my fucking stream, say hey. Because I don't think that's griefing. Griefing is like when you're messing something up, and obviously we're not doing anything that's mess upable right now. But if you're watching the stream, go land in Bella Coola. Rate my landing. Oh man. Can I? Nope, still can't touch in VR. Oh well. Nope. Guess I gotta use my little flight director on my screens and everything like a real pilot. Stream sniping. Dude, like, honestly, like, having somebody... Like, I think they were just here doing whatever they were doing anyways, and we just happened to pop into the same place. But if I was legitimately stream sniped, then that's fucking cool. But I'm literally not big enough for that to be a thing, so... Let's wave wings at them. Hello guys, I do see you. We're here to do the impossible. We're here to bring an A320 into Bela Kula. Yeah, like I said, I think they were doing stuff together and then they just happened to see A320 taking off, so they're like, cool, let's go do his, go follow him or whatever. See, yeah. Hell yeah, guys. Do I try to loop? Pull up, heavy throttle. Oh! Apparently I crashed. Apparently when you go like super fast, that's like frowned upon by the airplane itself. So what they're telling me is I can't do like a 1G barrel roll. Yeah, I don't want to try that. I'm over here trying to do freaking helicopter stuff with my cyclic. Or with my collective to get back in line. I've actually never, I don't want to say stream snipe, but I've never followed somebody on stream. I joined somebody else's stream once. There was a like SAR pilot or some search and rescue heli something. Anyway, he's a flight sim streamer, but he just basically did like third person flying like this. I joined their stream once, and like I was in their chat. I wasn't streaming myself. I just joined the chat and yapped with them for like 2 hours flying with them. But yeah, they're both in Typhoons. Hell yeah, get it, Carrie. It's so funny seeing it as a freaking airliner model doing that. Indecent Exposure's also a hilarious ass name. Oh, you're 7. Was that a guess for 7 go-arounds? I remember asking that, but I never looked to see if you made a guess.
2,500.
Shut up, I don't need to hear that. I just hopped off my computer, so I'm going to be chatting a bit more now. You mean you haven't been chatting more before? Oh, and if anybody's just getting in the stream, yes, we are flying around the world in a helicopter. Yes, I am in an A320 Neo. Hell yeah, they're doing canyon chases down there. That's cool as shit. But we finished our
2,500.
stream for the night, or finished our leg of the journey for tonight, and we wanted to go check out this airport that's a bit far off the course for what I think would be viable for the helicopter tour around the world. So we're going to see if we can land out there in an aircraft that's slightly too big for it. And my prediction is we're going to stick the landing. First try, not quite butter, but I don't know if go-arounds in my vocabulary.
1,000.
Terrain. Shut up. I know where I'm at. Literally have windows for that reason, Airbus. The only terrain I got to worry about is up here a little bit. Pull back on the stick. Go around. Go around. I'll avoid traffic, but go around for safety because on a runway incursion. I'm going to plow them. It's their fault.
2,500.
2,500. Another machine that's trying to speak my language. Even though I am created in the image of God and it's created in the image of that.
$2,500.
I know. Thank you. You're so kind. Can we speed up a little bit? Just a little bit, please? Dude, imagine being a passenger and riding and like... This is like
1,000.
our flight path is this.
Too low, terrain.
Shut up. You
Too
are
low,
such
terrain.
buzzkills. Don't care, don't want to hear it.
Too low,
1,000.
terrain. Too low, terrain.
Yeah, okay, autopilot. Don't be jealous just because you can't fucking do this. I think that's what it is, honestly. But yeah, so we've already done our leg. We did Seattle to the north end of, was it Vancouver, Victoria Island? Whatever it is. A beautiful island, beautiful flight.
2,500.
Oh, they're over there doing Typhoon fighter stuff. But yeah, we're going to hit this airport to see what it looks like and see if I truly am an all-around pilot. Which, surprise, we're going to nail it. And you know, one of the biggest things and best thing that pilots can do is admit when they're not capable of doing something. But I'm not going to admit that because I am capable of doing it. And we are going to land. I may do a scoping it out pass first because I'm unaware of what the approach looks like or how this has me set up. But at the first real attempt, I'll let you know. You can clip that too. It's a 4190 foot runway, should be landable. Yeah. Who cares if I touch grass at the beginning a little bit at the end? The biggest thing is I don't know if I can do reverse thrusters without... Like I don't know how to do reverse thrusters with my setup. So that's my downside. But we'll figure it out.
1,000.
Terrain.
Oh, an infinite flight without any problems. Yeah, so I should obviously be able to do it then. Okay, that looks like our things are pointing down.
2,500.
Oh, no, that's still through. Okay. Still going through the mountains here. Let's turn the throttles up some. Let's chase that red line. Let our passengers feel the power
2,500.
pushing them back in their seat. All none of them. So is this like the reverse lockout here?
1,000.
Oop, got off the throttle, coasted a little bit. Dude, this plane has no idea what the fuck it's in for. Your throttle is up. Even better than the 2500. The plane will call a retard 15 feet from the ground.
2,500.
Well, I don't like it insulting me. Look, just because I like helicopters and I understand that they're more expensive and much more complicated, doesn't mean it can insult me by calling me a retard. Pilots have feelings too. Dude, how the hell did they find this place? And they're like, you know what this place needs? A 4,190 foot
2,500.
runway. Like, what was the thought process in that? Let's address that, okay? That's obviously way more disturbing. That humans are
1,000.
Terrain.
terrain. That humans are so dumb that we're like, let's go into the absolute middle of nowhere and put in a runway. Especially in somewhere so inaccessible like this. Should I try to clip the wing on the mountain? Nah. We are going to throw some speed.
$2,500.
Terrain.
Don't sink.
1,400.
Don't sink.
1,500.
Is the water really reflecting my brackets down there? Wow. Wild. How far is this fucking place? We're in a big ass jet. Yeah, boy. Like, I keep throttling up and getting some speed and then letting off because I assume that the airport's going to be around the corner. But apparently I'm mistaken that we're just 65 miles away from where we need to go. And that 260 knots of continuous cruise means nothing to this airplane and to the size of Alaska. Which means we are in for it the next next couple of weeks. That's for sure. We are definitely in for it. I'm in for it. Y'all can turn it off at any time. I've dedicated myself to this series at this point.
2,500.
Don't sink. Don't sink.
I'm not sinking. I'm literally aiming down on
Don't sink.
purpose. This is-
1,000.
Pull up.
Pull up. Pull up. I know what I'm doing. I've literally flown airplanes in Sims before.
2,500.
Dude, I surely hope an Airbus engineer is not watching this. They'd probably have mechanical sympathy for this freaking... this digital model of their plane.
2,500.
Of no, my boy. Or however French people speak. Baguette. My baguette boy. I'm doing so much pedal work. Mostly just because I'm used to doing the helicopter stuff. Okay, that definitely looks like we're turning down there. Oh yeah. Okay, so I am going to do a
2,500.
yeah, I'm definitely going to do a examination pass first around this just to see where I think my approach will be from over that way. I believe. Because I sure as shit ain't doing whatever this is.
2,500.
Yep. I'll go and start a long, slow turn. Did you think I was still in the helicopter? Approach would never have worked. Idiot game. Obviously, I know better. You got to go, you'll be back in a minute. Okay. You might miss me perfectly landing this airplane the first time. I'm not going to tell you if I don't.
$2,500.
Okay, anybody else in here? Or am I doing this solo? We're going to put this flat back up so that way we can actually speed. Yeah, we're going to come down to whatever that bigger open part of the bay is down there and sweep in, stay low. I don't want to worry about a glide path. Airbus technician here. Oh boy. I'm sorry. I apologize. Bullshit. You have a fucking another account called Airbus employee. Because I don't think that's a completely different person, and if it is, it's fucking hilarious. But please don't look at what I'm doing to your boy. Airbus employee. Oh damn, we're in trouble now. Go back and eat a baguette or something, please. Don't watch it when I'm doing. And just know that I treat your helicopters with respect. The 120, the 125, the 130, the 135, the new 140, the 145,
2,500.
the 155, the 160, the 175, the 195, 215, 225, all magnificent machines. As soon as I saw the name, I was like, shit, him disappearing for a second, then this person showing up? Yeah, sure, okay. Let's see if I believe this. I kind of did for a second. I was like, oh man, somebody, I didn't think you're an actual employee, but I did think somebody had a fucking funny name. But the best thing is you now have that name as an account somewhere, so you can use that as jokester shit whenever you want to. Go and comment on different fucking Airbus rough landing videos. Like the ultimate troll account to have.
2,500.
Okay, kind of setting up for an approach here. I think we are slow enough for one notch of flaps at least. Yeah. And in fact, I don't know any better, so I'm going to say gear down. Do we have green lights for gear here? I don't know. Oop. Gotta fight that little stall thing right there. Middle flaps. I'm assuming my gear's down. I don't see why it wouldn't be. What is F? What did I do? 2, so make sure gear is down. Okay, gear is down. Sick. Still losing altitude, hopefully. I have an even smaller window of speed that I need to stay in. I think I may be way too high as well, but who cares? 'Cause I'm not going to go around. Airbus CEO. Flying with respect. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, love your helicopters, sir. Love your helicopters. We're going to full flaps because we want to land slow and clean for Mr. CEO. Airbus CEO. You need to give your employer a raise. He's a good fella there.
2,500.
Okay, let's remember what my brakes and everything are. I literally cannot see the runway. Oh, nope, there it is. I see it. Cool. Now what I think about is if I can get those in reverse or not, because I'm going to throw full brakes and see if I can get reverse thrusters going or not. But I've got no idea how to do that. You fired him. Lose a little bit of altitude.
1,000.
Sterile cockpit, sterile cockpit.
$400. 300.
Do you think they have an ILS approach like for this airport?
200.
Guys, this is a short fucking runway. This is a short runway, guys.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard 10. Retard. 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 5. Retard. Retard.
I am a retard.
Retard.
I am a retard. I am a retard. No. Go reverse. Sorry I went off course there. I'm literally trying to like look and do this on the side here. Bro! Look at that. Let me get some W's in chat. I don't have enough hands to do that with the VR and like look down and do all that shit. Having a co-pilot would have been sick. But I literally made it before the turn off. Or like at the turn off. So, yes. 320 on the runway. Let's see if we can kind of differential thrust a little bit, maybe. Can't differential thrust. But I want to park right in the middle of their whole shit here. Also, I want to see how fucking big this thing is here. They have a fucking school bus here. But my brakes are toasty. Sick. Thank you, Mr. CEO. I did the best with what I have. So now, in an effort to turn those off, yeah, that works. We'll just start flipping anything that's on to the off position. Oh, those are lights. I don't care about lights. What do I care about? Don't care about engine fires. Don't care about no pumps. Or battery. That's what I'm looking for. I cut the engine, so I'm just going to do Shift Control E. I think that shuts everything down. Shift C. Hell yeah. Dude, I'll let Elaine shut this bitch down. Clean it up in there for me, toots. Hell yeah. Honestly surprised. Yep, now New Zealand. Full flight from New Zealand. I don't think I have enough runway. I don't think we'd have enough runway for the weight, honestly. Like, that's like a 16-hour, 17-hour flight from here to New Zealand, I would assume. And I don't think we have enough runway for the weight required to do it. Oh, let's see. In flight. That honestly surprised me. Like I said, I'm not going to do a fucking go around. We're going to nail it. So, Southern New Zealand. Run PC-12. Pilates. Pilates. PC-12, fucks hard. Is this it? Yeah, this is the one. Says arrival, and we'll come from up here somewhere. Daytime. Hast Aerodrome. But yeah, since I know you're going to look at airport codes or whatever, we're going to November Zulu Mike Foxtrot. From November Zulu Hotel Tango. And honestly, a full flight from New Zealand to here, I'd do in a helicopter. And it would take us a few weeks because we'll have to go down the island chain from Japan and into all that. Take off empty, land at Juneau. Refuel, flight to Nome. Refuel, flight to Tokyo. Refuel, flight to Milan. Refuel, then Sydney, then Auckland. Yeah, doable. I don't know which way any of these things are going to have us facing. So I'm just going to start us. Says departure on the ground, shut down. Start flight.
Hey, that's not on the ground. There we go. Milford Sound. Yeah, beautiful airport. And I actually do have a small love affair with the PC-12, so tricked y'all into this one, idiots. Now y'all get to listen to me talk about how attractive this damn plane is. Look at it. This is a good livery on it, too. I just went with whatever default thing was set up. Nothing else back there, I don't think. Don't see any more remove before flights. Sick. Elaine. Bet you're not even plugging in our fucking flight plan, are you? Bet you are not. Oh, and the cool thing about the 12 and the 24, they keep the back of the wing straight. So that way you can take a forklift in and put it in the cargo door if you have anything big. There's a fun fact for you. Ow. Whoa. Awfully close here, aren't we? I guess this is appropriate. Why? Elaine, did you not get started while we were here? Okay, let's see. System test. I don't care about system test. Master power. Yeah, that's obviously not master power. Okay. Okay. Stop. Nothing there, nothing there. Neat, we're gonna figure this out. Fuel pumps on. Sure, let's get our avionics bus on. Maybe that will start giving us things there. Battery 1 on. That's an important thing. Battery 2 on. Avionics 2 bus. Stop turning off on me. Stop turning off. Stop turning off. There you go. Safety bus on. Generators will leave off right now. No. Okay, fuel pumps are on. Ignition on. Starter. Let's wait for our N1 to get up to 50-ish%. And we'll smack our Jennies. We're going to wait for 60. Okay, there's Jennies. Strobe beacon. Nav wing. Taxi light, sure. No smoking. Y'all can smoke. Seatbelt, don't care. Throttle works. Brakes work. Okay, let's figure it out. Yeah, PC-24 is sick too. Very cool, very cool. Get rid of that. Auto. Don't care about anything else. Flaps. We're going to send it on those bad boys. I think I'm going to use my mouse for those things. My gear is right here. Everything else. Probes on. Ice protection on. Inertial separator might as well leave our boots off for the moment. It does auto feathering, so I don't need to worry about that. So now we can take our parking brake off, and we are going to start.
No takeoff.
Parking brake on, parking brake off. Why am I not moving? What's holding me back? What's holding me back? What do you mean autopilot? Nothing to do with the fucking autopilot. Should have anything to do with this.
No takeoff.
Oh, there we go. We just needed more.
No takeoff.
No, take off my ass. You want to see something cool? I'm going to take off. Freaking nerd.
No takeoff. No takeoff.
You should be auto feathering. What are you doing? Propeller low speed? Why can't I take off? It's my airplane. It's my airplane,
No takeoff.
fucking nerds. Any ideas why I'm not freaking at full freaking rip right here? I'm not moving. My parking brake is off. Parking brake on, parking brake off. Like, this thing should be ripping, guys. What is going on?
No.
Yeah, I know my temps are high. You know why? Because you're not letting me fucking take off. It's your own fucking fault. Don't complain at me. Everything's rolling. I literally have no idea why it's not wanting me to take off.
No takeoff.
Why? Well, fine. You know what? You're gonna be a little asshole. I'll be a little asshole back. In flight. Fucking little cunt. Set his departure, so it means we're gonna spawn on the runway, ready to go. Little bitch. Set this runway as our arrival. PC-12, don't make me hate you. I like you. I like you. I want to be your friend.
November Zulu Hotel Tango Traffic Pilatus November 6-1 Tree Fife 1 taking off runway tree departure to the north.
Yeah, what's different? Wheelie in, wheelie in. Cool, let's go. PC-12. See, this is what happens when you're a good person.
Gear.
No, 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 no. Yeah. Did you leave chocks in? No, the chocks I had pulled them. Or I believe I did. They weren't showing that they had been, were there anymore. But I also don't know why the plane would fight it at that point. No takeoff. YouTube's like, dude, this guy's changing his account name like 60 times today. What's going on? But yeah. Anyways, now that we're doing the thing. Hot damn. Yeah, like literally if I'm ever at the point where I'm buying like a nice fixed wing, there's a very high chance it's going to be a PC-12. Like the TBM 960 or whatever, it's cool. Don't get me wrong. Super solid platform. You know, it basically does anything and everything you want it to do. But, like, put a couple of dirt bikes in this thing. I'm not him. I don't believe it anymore. Everybody watching this stream is just Georgia Plain spotting in a different account. Yeah, TBM's nice. TBM's great, in fact. TBM's a super good aircraft. But I'm also a very active guy. I like toys and tools and stuff like that. So the part of me that would want a turboprop engine with short field capabilities, especially like unimproved runway, short field capabilities. Dude, I'm looking at the freaking PC-12. Like, bullshit. Oh, that's fucking funny. Profile pictures of PC-12. The best chat, hands down. Just me and my other personalities here. Nope, it's still on that. Cool. We want speed. Torque pressure. ITTs are good. NG's good. Can we see the back of this one here? Whoa. Let's get myself straight and level-ish. Nope. Can't go back anymore. Chat's all you, but there's a few other people in here dropping in every once in a while or pulling through. Thankful for any of them, but at the same time, like I've said, it's like I'm gonna be doing this anyway. It's just nice to have people to talk to. I'm a yapper. That's what I'm built to do. Literally came out of the womb ready to just talk at people. Yeah, someone at Google's like, guys, something's happening. We've got to be careful here. There's obviously terroristic threats going on in the chat of this dude that's stupid enough to fly helicopters around the world in a freaking simulator. Putting on the blue light goggles on his face, he's just ruining his circadian rhythm. Yep. 100%. That's me. Dude, I'm gonna sit outside of this thing for a bit. It's just a looker. Like, come on. And it's nimble too. Hell yeah. We doing it, boys. Yeah, envelope doesn't matter. It's a PC-12. PC-12 makes its own freaking flight envelope. Like, I wish I had like a rudder cam, because y'all would, or rudder and collective cam. Like watching me fly that Airbus, I'm over here yanking my collective up and down, which is mapped to the brakes on the fixed wing stuff, so I can progressively do the brakes. I've got a braking button, which works fine for helicopter stuff, because it's like, okay, cool, if it's like the the 222 or the Chinook or the 225. I think those are the only wheeled helicopters in the game that I have, at least. It's like, okay, cool, you're moving like a mile an hour anyway, so I can just have like an on-off switch for the brakes. And but with the planes, you kind of want a progressive, or the ability to progressively brake, especially when I was doing some like tail dragger stuff. Who is texting me at this time of night? Oh, there's a new interactive Black Mirror movie. Hell yeah. Look at that damn thing. Dude, it's so fucking cool. Like, the PC-12 makes me want to get a fixed wing license. If I could get a job where I was flying a PC-12 for somebody, I would 100% chase fixed wing. Like, if I could guarantee that job. Just like Steve, we were talking about the other day, Steve Oknevo, whatever, on YouTube. He had a job, and he still has a job basically just flying TBMs. It's like, it's not wrong to assume that somebody would be willing to pay you a decent amount of money to be either a contract or full-time pilot for a PC-12. Especially flying for like oil money dudes trying to land at unimproved runways at fields in Texas and Oklahoma, Midwest. My throttle's on the collective, because on the helicopters, the collective goes. Let me go inside real quick. You have a collective that goes up and down like this, and my throttle is a twist grip, like the gas-powered ones have in Golf, and like some of the non-FADEC turbine ones. So I couldn't invert the axis, so right now my collective pulled all the way up to me. So with my collective in this position, that's no brakes. Pushed all the way down is full brakes, and then my throttle is still throttle. Yeah, New Zealand's fucking crazy too. It's another whole different world of geography. Are you flashing at me down here, bud? Uh-huh. I sure as shit know I'm not at 7,600 feet. I have no idea what our altimeter was. Yeah, 208's pretty beast. The Quest Kodiak, like, I'm fully aware of them, and I know what they're capable of. I've just never looked that seriously into them. But I know they're a beast. Yeah, the PC-12 is definitely more executive versus the others being much more utility, bringing people in and out, or equipment in and out. Oh. Yep, the yawns are starting to get to me. Apparently not sleeping a whole bunch will catch up to you eventually. Like when I die. Kobe. Did you hear it? It sounded like somebody had keys on the floor or something. So this one shouldn't be a hard landing. It should be a freaking cake landing. But it's just a beautiful place down here. Curious what sort of descent it's going to set me up on for this. screen. Nope. Nope, not that cool. Let's canyon dive this shit while we're here. Myself a few more torques in the engine and transmission. Yeah, I think the PC-12 is also capable of transatlantic stuff, doing the Greenland cross like we're going to be doing with the helicopter. But I think you don't even, like, you can skip Greenland and go straight to Iceland. Yeah, Missionary Bush Pilot's cool. I didn't know he was in the Quest Codex, so I guess I have seen a good bit of stuff then. I've just kind of like watched and just always assumed it was a caravan or something, but I never paid that much attention. Yeah, he's cool. There's also another guy like Missionary Bush Pilot, that he's a missionary helicopter pilot down there. And they'll fly an R-66 to go pick up like sick people or deliver supplies to some of these remote villages. Because sometimes like if one of these farmers gets hurt or sick or something, it takes them like 2 weeks to walk out. And they basically wait till the person's about to die, put them on a backpack setup and hike them out of the area. They've started setting up helipads at pinnacles of different hills and stuff in the area. And they can get radio calls or satellite phone calls from these people to go pick them up and drop them off at like a local hospital. I forget who it is though. I'll figure it out and I'll tell you in a future stream. I just don't remember at the moment. That's a cool one to watch. Because same-ish mission as Missionary Bush Pilot, just with an R-66. I think they have 2 or 3 of them down there. And then hell, even at that, there was a episode of Helicopter Podcast where they were talking about work with helicopters down in PNG and some other places down there. I'm not sure if it's the same group with a Bush Pilot and the helicopter guy. I know I want to say I've seen Bush Pilot do stuff with a guy that has like a Bell 206 that's down there, where they've done some external load operations. I want to say I saw that on Missionary Bush Pilot's thing, but I'm not sure if that was him or not. I don't remember. I've watched a lot of fucking videos in my day. I wonder what the climb rate, like the... We're doing 4,000 feet a minute right now. Freaking hoss. Speaking of 4,000 feet a minute, do you follow Mike Patey in any of his stuff? Today he posted a video that he was cutting the tail off of Turbulence, which was his world record for the fastest single-engine turboprop airplane. I forget what chassis, like in a Glass Air or something like that. But he had custom modified the shit out of to put, I believe, this engine out of a PC-12 into like a PT-6 Alpha or something. Yeah, I'm thinking of a different dude, R66. Anyways, but yeah, Mike Patey. Super cool dude. If you don't watch Mike Patey, what, you never fucking heard of Mike Patey? As soon as the stream, I mean, hell, right now while you've been logging in and logging back out, go look up Mike Patey. He's the one that made the Draco airplane and sadly crashed it. Builds wild shit. Like the wing that he has, one of his planes is called Scrappy. And it's a Cub with a V8 Lycoming, like 780 in it, that he's twin turboing. And the plane has freaking hydraulic suspension, so he can have it like very flat or sitting more like nose up, depending on the runway type that he's landing on. And he hangs electric motorcycles off the wing of it, so when he flies into places he can do stuff. The wing on it, he has invented his own wing thing where it grows out. Yeah, oh him. Yeah, you know. Everybody knows Patey. Freaking mad scientist genius dude. Okay, so I think once we get over this ridge, we'll start working our way into it-ish.
Yeah, because that's it on the little dot right there. So I'm going to hang right so we can approach in. Yeah, dude, Mike Patey's cool as shit. Me and my dad, we watched every episode of his house build that he did. Elaine, don't look at me like that. Get your hands away from the freaking yoke. But he was doing a home build where he couldn't put a pool in his backyard because of just the ground and stuff like that, since he was next to a river. But he wanted like a 25-foot deep pool so he could do scuba diving in it. So he built it above ground and into his house, where his garage is under like the shallow end of the pool, which is only like 5 foot deep. Then it has a full floor that's movable, so he can bring the entire floor of the pool out of the water, so you have like a dance floor that people can like walk around on and have like a party or whatever on. But then the floor will be pulled down into the pool, so you can have like a 25-foot deep scuba pool. Dude, absolutely, like the whole build series on that house was wild, just because the amount of engineering and shit that he puts into it. Overthinks everything. I mean, like, honestly, that house will survive mankind, how engineered it is. But like the wing setup that he's made is insane. Yeah, Mike Patey, mad scientist, mad genius. Highly suggest looking into like stuff he's done. Not only because you'll enjoy it, but just because you'll fucking learn so much and like different ways of looking at different things. Gonna put a sharper turn in. Look at these fucking mountains, dude. You may think we're getting close, and you're right, but I plan on threading this little needle of the 3 peak right here. 1 peak, 2 peak, 3 peak. Dude, whatever fucking dude hired me to fly his PC-12 is firing me as soon as we are on the ground, I'll tell you that. I say we take this little hole right here. Are you sure this is the approach path? Yeah. It's gotta be, right? And honestly, I kind of like enjoy the high-vis paint on the prop up front. So like there's that circle in front of you. Like I said, I have a weird attraction to the PC-12. Like an unhealthily weird attraction to the PC-12. Dude, yeah, for sure. Go watch a few of his videos. It's super sick. Okay, let's go ahead and kill our power. We are going to start coming down. I'm going to throw 1 notch of...
Speed.
Oop. We were a little fast for that, but I'll let it solve itself. Yeah, see, we're all good now. No big deal. No big deal. We're good. We're good. We're good. A freaking approach on this airport, though, dude. Like, even if you're coming more in from the sound, which I think is probably, like, the appropriate way to do it, like, come on. Come on. I mean, there's amphibious caravans. So I don't see why an amphibious PC-12 couldn't be a thing. What do you think the name of this boat is? Maiden of Milford, okay. But yeah, dude, tell me this is not a fucking approach. Beautifly Radar 24.
The approach path of Milford Sound from the ocean is along the river. Yeah, I wanted to kind of do a more aggressive trip in here. But yeah, usually you would come. You would come. But you come in here for this. Hey, people watching, what up? Y'all are probably wondering and thinking to yourself, that's not a helicopter. Yeah, we've already done the helicopter flight for today. But we're checking out a couple of cool approaches since we're going to be doing the Alaskan bit that's kind of looks like this here over the next week or two. So we wanted to kind of see what other things out there are similar, you know? And we went and checked out the Bella Cola airport in Alaska, or Canada, excuse me, subpar version of Alaska. And now we're checking out Milford Sound here in New Zealand. On path. Look at the size of these fucking mountains, dude. Look at that. You know what we're going to do? We're just going to turn around, take back off, and head out to the ocean. We'll call that a day for today. I think that'll make for a good ending of the stream to clear the sound out to the ocean. What do you think? Look at that with a freaking sun. Good Lord. What a freaking airport. So yeah, for everybody watching, this will be our final takeoff for the night. We're going to head out into the ocean and we'll call it. Okay, Milford traffic. Suck my nuts. Yeah. Couple notch of flap seems okay. V something, rotate. Maybe. Also, guys, I literally know almost nothing about our airplanes. As far as flying goes, at least. I'm also doing this own helicopter sim control setup. So I'm doing this with a cyclic and collective and nothing quite optimal for this. Yeah, exactly. Who chose to make Milford Sound? They're probably just like, ooh, it's kind of flattish down here. We might as well. But dude, if a tsunami comes in, which I don't know if it would just because it's facing Australia, it'd be really hard for a tsunami to get back here. But if for whatever reason, Milford's toast, dude. And also, I'm keeping low on this departure just because, like, why not? And actually, we're going to go exterior for the departure. Like, if you climb out of here where you don't get to experience this, are you even really a pilot? PC-12, you make it a good night. You make it a good night there, bud, don't you? Whoever my client is in the back better fucking appreciate this. Also, for everybody watching, if you do want to see helicopter stuff, feel free to come back tomorrow around 8 o'clock Eastern or so. maybe a little bit later. Depends on what my schedule ends up being tomorrow. Come back. We've got another 90 or so episodes of flying around the world. So we've got a whole bunch to do as far as that's concerned. Right now we're working our way up the coast of Alaska. We got a water crossing to do. Get over to Russia, make our way down to Russia. Then we'll be doing Japan and Indonesia-ish area. And, yeah, it's only going to be fun. There's going to be no fun going on. So, what are you telling me? Angle? 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 Angle my ass. Come on, let's go. But anyways, yeah. Feel free to like, subscribe, leave a comment, say what's up if you come back, or today, you know, whatever. But yeah, got a whole bunch more days of flying around the world. We're doing it in a handful of different helicopter models that are either factory in the game or something I've downloaded. And maybe we even start making money doing this, then we'll buy the H-160 or a different helicopter model. And as long as it's a good one, we'll do it. And as long as it's not an Osprey, we'll do it. It's got to be a true helicopter, you know. We even did an R-22 for a leg the other day. Very slow. We ended up making up time afterwards with the 206. Slightly faster, but not much more. But yeah, so that's it for today, everybody. We're going to call that a solid stream. Let's do this crest real quick. Good crest to end the day. Damn it, not quite the best crest. I want a crest with a view. We'll do this crest here. I mean, this is a view. I wouldn't fucking complain, you know. Yeah, boy. Yeah, good reveal there. Okay, cool. I'm happy calling that for the end of the stream. Spirit of Milford Sound, thank you for being here for us. Georgia plane spotting. Appreciate the shit out of it, as always. But, yeah. Y'all come back next time and we're going to be doing a lot of this here. All the way up here. All the way here. All the way here. All the way here. All the way here. And all the way here. We're going to kind of jump over this little part of India right there. Do a war tour here. Come up here. Pyramids, Benghazi. Come up European tour. Bing, 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 bing. And we're eventually going to land back down where we started, just south of Atlanta. So yeah, cool. Appreciate you guys being here. Legitimately enjoy this every night. So I'll see you guys